I've been talking to myself for like 20 minutes. Oh no. Wow. Bad game. Thank you for pointing that out, Emery. I turned off the mic earlier to... Hopefully it's working now. Working now. Well, I feel like a total dork now. Here I am giving my A game chit chat to myself, apparently. Is it working now, Emery? You're hearing the talking now. Well, that's good. I'm talking to myself for 17 minutes. It's great. Lovely. I just should just say everything I just said, and I'll be fine. Pretty silly. Hopefully it's still going. That's what I get for fussing with the settings in OBS. Like, oh, I'll be super fancy and put up a starting soon picture and then forget to turn the audio back on. That's how it goes. Yeah, I'm digging these guys a lot for the from One Page Rules, Patreon, of My Mini Factory. Kind of a not Necron type race that's gonna just get meshed right in with my Necrons on the shelf. Because I love painting Necron stuff, and this definitely hits that button for me at a lot cheaper price, because I can just print off as many of these little guys as I want and have myself a secondary Necron army with the kind of proto-Roman Centurion colors. Aged red metal with cool green blades and that purple shroud. Because purple is the noblest shroud and all that. Got all 5 of these little guys set up. Do a little bit more gold on each of their chests, and then decide what to do next. So I explained, when my mic was off, I explained how I did the swords. So pretty useful telling myself. But hit it with this Proacral white. I've used a lot of whites in the last few years, and usually it takes like 5 or 6 coats to get through to a bright white, but this Proacral takes maybe 2 coats. Sometimes it just takes 1 to get up to a nice bright white. That's what I did on the swords. Painted them white and then hit them with the lime green ink. I'll do this again too, since I just did this without my mic either. So I have got, these are roughly equivalent. This one's a little bit more liquidy than the Tesseract Glow. Once you get them all shaken up, they look almost identical. But I like the ink because it's cheaper. You get a bigger bottle. This is what, 18 milliliters? 12 milliliters versus 30, so twice as much, and I think it's still cheaper than, or at least roughly. Anyway, I prefer this, even though it does settle out a little bit as soon as you pour it. So I've got some left over in the tray, and if you don't keep it stirred, it tends to separate. But that's the only kind of downside. But it's pretty forgiving. Raw of the System Lords no longer has. I have no idea what you're talking about. Round base, lip green. Okay. done on that one. Let's do it on this guy too. He's got the same chest piece. Yes, I'm a big fan of one-page rules, and I've got a lot of robots to paint. We got a bunch of these guys are carrying these big burly double swords. They are awesome. And the walker guys. Got 3 of these, and then one of the bigger walkers, the taller walkers. I wouldn't say bigger because he's kind of more sleek. So no shortage of things to do. Yeah, it definitely goes well with the Necron stuff. I even got the Necron walker up here. But I still have to do. It's in my pile of shame. So I still have this bad boy to make. But definitely just fits right in with Necron stuff. And again, at that price point, it's hard to beat. With if you've got the resin printer, if you've got the ability to print, then it's going to save you some money. You get a pretty hefty discount too with the Patreon membership. If you do tier 2, you get a pretty significant discount for models that you missed from previous releases. So I've done that a couple of times to get robot stuff and some of the Vinci things, which are also on my pile of shame to get done. So definitely feel like that $10 a month is worth it, because again, you're getting, if it were some other game company that releases figures, then you'd be paying hundreds of dollars for these models and waiting for them to arrive. But with this, you just get your new set each month. It may not always be something you're interested in, but most of the things that One Page Rules has done, I'm at least interested in eventually getting to. I think they've got the mummy army that I haven't printed any of those yet, but I definitely want to. It's kind of like a Tomb Kings type army. Oh yeah, absolutely. If you're building up a full army, cost of a printer, resin plus files, PV can come out significantly. Oh, of course, absolutely. Yeah. So I've probably put about $1,200 into this resin printer and all the supplies and resin and all that so far. But I've printed probably $4,000 worth of figures. At Games Workshop prices, probably about $4,000 worth of figures. It's got just, yeah, I'm not in any shortage of things to paint for a while. Was the Beastmen for One Page Rules? Is that what he's hinting at for? The other one I'm a member of is Nova Minis, and he does some really good fantasy stuff too. He did these beast guys. Oh, goodness. Pretty good quality. I added the crystal, but Minotaur. He did his little Frogkin set last month, and that was awesome. That's what actually got me to sign up. And this month it's like Skeleton Army, which is on the slate for things to print. I've got the printer running pretty much non-stop. Get the Phoenicians in on this. Yeah, I was going for like a Eastern Roman Empire look, the Byzantine cloak. Purple is the noblest shroud, right? From Theodora. Yeah, that's cool. Beastman coming out from OPR beginning in December. Right, that's cool. Yeah, I like the again the variety, and yeah, I love the idea that, oh, I want to do 5 more of these guys, so I'm just gonna go down and set it up on the printer, and in 4 hours I'll have a brand new set of 5 that I can play with. Or yeah, so it's just really cool. I'm loving the 3D, getting back into the 3D printing thing. Before, when I had the ABS, not ABS, the PLA plastic printer, it was a constant frustration. The print quality was kind of crappy. Definitely wouldn't be able to do stuff like this. That would be silly. You should do his sword so you can see that in action. Though it needs another coat of white. You know what? I'll do that after we do this. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that acrylic ink, especially for Necron stuff that I use a green glow for a lot. Yeah, I think the green on these guys really helps break up the dark red, because it's a very dark figure, especially once you hit it with the wash. To have something light on it to break it up is good. Pleasing to the eye. Painting where you can't see because you have to hold it under the camera. So I'm just going to hold my breath and trust that I'm painting the thing I want to paint here. Ooh. Are any gasps from the audience, so it must be okay. I was talking to somebody on Twitter. Yeah, painting under a camera is a lot different than painting on your own. You can hold the figure up to your face as close as you need to, and those weird angles to get things painted. I definitely think there's a place for the filament printing, like especially for bigger stuff, like scenery. You're printing big concrete walls for your diorama. Then resin printing is, you're using a lot of resin for that, and the rolls of filament would probably be better for those when you're building just large architectural features. I haven't really printed any terrain yet on the printer, just because I'm obsessed with figures at the moment. Plus, I make so much terrain out of trash stuff that it almost seems like a waste to use resin. Like, there's a bunch of styrofoam in the garage. Why use resin? Though I could see probably printing off little doodads and stuff that add to the piece of garbage terrain. Bladders and stuff. Can make those in SketchUp and print them. Be pretty painless. I should probably hold it under the camera, see? Camera. So holding it this close to the camera, I actually have to peek over the light. Just searching for that perfect place for the light and the camera. I'm sure there's an expert out there at streaming who's got it figured out. Yeah, absolutely. Broken supports jammed in styrofoam, absolutely. I've been known to use sprue bits for that. You can, if you glue 2 of them together, you get kind of that hexagon shape. Looks a little bit like support structure. Alright, I haven't decided on that helm crest. I want to hit that gold yet. I don't know. I do kind of want to hit that recesses on the shield with the green. Make it look like the shields are powered up. That'd be kind of cool. Let's see. Let me wrap my brain around it for a minute. Let's do the white on this guy's sword, so you guys can see the green in action. I need to go all white. And the dropper bottles on the Proacryl are awesome too. There's nothing I don't like about the Proacryl paints. I definitely need more of them. That's that there. Probably need more white here soon. Starting to get a little light. Getting a little light. Oh, I don't want to use this brush. Don't use the nicer brush for base coating white. That's a waste. Bonk. If you're playing the hat hitting the camera game at home, you have to drink. Really glad I printed these at 120 scale, because if they were much smaller, I think they might lose a little bit of their bulk, their kind of intimidation factor. I think when I get done, I'll do some shots with 28 mil figures, just regular like Space Marines and stuff, and you can kind of see the difference if I had a Space Marine handy. But I hope you can see that's just 2 coats. It's kind of so bright. Just 2 coats. That's a bright white, and you're not seeing any of the red come in from underneath. So worth it if you're looking for that white paint that will cover. So I'm going to do 400 thin coats. Just 8 more coats and it'll look vaguely like I want it to look. Oh, nice bright white. Since I now have white out, I better use it. Yeah, as far as white base coats go, that's hard to beat. Use the rest of this white up. Oh, drink. Clear out your juice box. By the end of this. Drinking anything harder than that at lunch, I probably got some issues that we need to talk about. Alright, using first this white. I'm also bias time because then the rest of the other sword will be done and ready to go because it dries pretty quick. Okay. Absolutely, being able to make something a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, if I ever run across another player who has one-page rule stuff, my stuff will be 20% bigger. So there's a 20% bigger gloating. Right? No. Bragging rights. Oh, you printed 100%. Scrub. Now, I haven't scaled up any of the bases I've printed, so we'll see if they look ridiculous on a normal size base. These guys are going on a 40. These ones will be on a 32, but they'll be kind of definitely the stepping off of a 32 base, which is actually fine. I'm fine. That's fine. This is all fine. Not like I'm going to a tournament or anything.
So your base is not the right size.
Hey Steven, how's it going? I'm gonna hit this double sword with the green. It's nice and dry now, so you can see the acrylic ink in action. That's what you came for. That's what puts butts in the seats. Everybody wants to see the acrylic ink. Gonna stir it up as it settles. Nice bright green. Oh, I'm not even on camera. I'm doing the stirring. It's not even on camera. The things you miss out on. It's a nice bright green. Those are totally not Necrons. Yeah, just have to preface every statement. Not Necron, but they have a certain certain look to them that definitely. Oh, drink. Had to hit the camera again. All right, here we go. Here's what you came for. That nice bright green. And being an ink just flows right into the recesses. Oh, it looks great. Oh, let's see here if we can get it. Help you see it better. Focus. There you go. There's your money shot right there. That's why you paid. That's why you paid the ticket of $0. Paid for the ticket for $0 to get here. I know what people want to see. Shut up, frog. Just get out the acrylic ink. Good looking green. And again, cheaper than Tesseract Glow. And a little bit more liquidy, so it does do a good job of getting into the nooks and crannies. Oh, bonk, drink. Every time the hat hits the light. And bonk again. You know, overhydration at this point. Alright, looking good. I'll come back in and do some details and make that blade look awesome later, but it's a nice basis to work from. Big green energy blade. Looking good. I think I hear workers coming back. to wrap this up. So definitely looking forward to the walkers. It's getting a little dusty. And it's not just the same face. You can see on this one. Each one's unique. It has a different set of weapons, and the heads are different. Came out looking pretty good. This top walker comes with a version of the body that's different. It doesn't have this big cannon on the back. And then you can have a different set of arms. This one's kind of carrying a leg and a spinal cord from one of its robot friends. So maybe some sort of like reclaimer type unit. The other one just has a kind of a doodad thing that hangs down from the bottom. So that can go down on there instead of the arms. Gives you a good variation. Extra arms. For some reason, the file, when I printed out the walker, the 1 out of 4 legs came out funky, but we were adaptable, and it actually looks like the piston that normally should be there. Like you can see there, that piston just looks like it's retracted into the body itself. And so it's got its leg lifted up like it's walking. So I was like, happy little accident. Rolling with the punches. And worked out. Cool. Totally not accurate. We'll see. These ones are the snipers. They've got kind of long rifles. They look pretty cool. And I've got 6 more sets of scarabs, not scarabs. They're Warhammer equivalent, quote unquote, scarabs. I really like this design because it looks like they're kind of they're overflowing the base that they're on, which is what you would hope. It's that effect you would hope for when you've got a big swarm of little tiny robots that are going to ruin someone's day. Or rebuild your Blackstone fortress for you. Either way. Alright. Let's see here. What should we do now? We got the green. We did the green on the double sword. I still haven't decided on the shoulder blades. What do you guys think? Should I do that shoulder that doesn't have the shield? Should I do that in a bright red, like it's been redone? Maybe using the Mephiston style red. I think they crawled out of whatever their suspension tomb was, and they had enough red paint left over to redo the shoulder pad, but not much else. I don't know if that will make it too busy. Can't decide. But we're coming along. I think we should try doing the green on the shield, and we'll try it, and if it doesn't look good, then I'll just go back over it with gold. So again, we'll use the ink. Give it another stir. And hopefully get to see it kind of wick into the recesses. Draw it along the line. I think we can give that a try. distance. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, that'll work. That's kind of like I was thinking about doing the entire shield in the green. But I think that would have been too much. I think this was perfect. What do we got there? Fill in. There we go. I think that's a good compromise. So the shields are energized. It's sort of a power shield thing going, but it's not so much that it washes out the other figure in green. So that'll work. See, compromise works. Everybody can leave the argument slightly unhappy. Nice. That will do. Do. Gives the shields enough attention, because again, that's kind of this unit's defining feature is the shield. So it gives the shields some of the limelight, but not too much that it drowns everything else out. Do. I need to get the sides of the shield too. Just notice that. I have to go back. Yeah, it's one of the really neat things about that acrylic ink. It'll just kind of flow where you put it. Goes where you put it. Ah, that looks awesome. Good idea. Not too shabby. Oh, it's technically on the back of the shield too. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I won't. How many people are going to focus on the back of the shield? We'll see. Don't know if I need to be that try hard. Got a phone call from one of my former teaching partners, teaching the same subject, was asking me where stuff was on the shared Google Drive. Like, I don't know. I don't have access to that stuff anymore. Where's the rubric for this? I don't know. See that hilarious thread last night on Twitter. Somebody who went to a recruiter after being fired from his job, and he never quite explained why he lost his job. But the recruiter he got to find him a new job actually lined up an interview for the same position that he was fired from at the same employer, and so he decided to go to the interview anyway. And he wore his mask and added a little mustache to his mask to try to hide, and actually went through a considerable way through the process before his before he was brought over to the section of the office where he worked, and his former boss who fired him realized what was going on, and like, are you really applying for the job you were just fired from? Like, yes, I am. That takes some huevos. Get out the green ink. Might as well use it all up. I didn't get any of that on camera for the video that I was going to make, so that's an oopsie. I should have probably gotten the camera out. I recorded that. But then again, I do have it on stream, so maybe I can just pull it from this stream. And lazy monkey. For an animal that does a whole lot of laying around and eating stuff out of trees, to get the moniker lazy in front of Monkey, I'm curious just how little effort you have to put into life as a monkey to be called lazy. Like, I could reach for that banana, but effort. Alright. So that's cool. I'm digging the shields now. That was what they needed. I think these guys are pretty close to done. I'm going to get in and do their handles with the steel color. That's pretty much it. I'll work on the... let's see here. Do their bases. Workers will probably get back from lunch here soon, so we'll have to wrap this up. But we got their 5 bases. You can see they're kind of tech, and then these came with the 1-page rules gift pack, so you get it when you sign up. So you have bases for all of your Robot Legion. So it looks cool. We are gonna go with. Let's use good old-fashioned lead belcher. USB drive of destiny, churning. Good times. Nope, I got a drink. Hit my eye again. These guys in silver, steel, and then age it up. Do some rust effects, and I'll be able to get these guys on their bases. Action packed. I'll have to make a note next time I stream. Do not stream for 20 minutes with your microphone off. Oops. The things you learn. Learn something new every day. could airbrush this, but I'm being lazy. You absolutely need your steel to not have any brush marks in it. But then again, this is not an army that I'm doing for maximum effort. It's just one I want to have for fun and to make the Necron force, the Necron army I have, look even more formidable, as if I needed any more Necrons. Probably got 4,000 or 5,000 points now, Necrons. Most of which I bought off of Craigslist at my last place. Traded a bunch of my orcs that I had laying around that I hadn't touched since I started painting. I want an orc army. Well, I'll take your Necrons. And so we did a swap. Probably wasn't a super fair swap. I think I did better in the deal than he did. Especially since he promptly gave up on the orc idea. I saw on Craigslist maybe a month later. I saw that he had put them up for sale there, and I'm like, I painted those. That's neat. Selling the orcs I traded you for your Necrons. I wonder if he wanted his Necrons back. Awkward. Hey, buddy. Can I have my space robots back? Nope. Alright, workers are back. I'm going to have to cut this short. So, those of you who stuck it out, I appreciate watching. You'll probably see a video on these guys finished up tomorrow morning, because I will work on them tonight. And you'll see them in all of their glory on their bases and everything. So with that, whoever's watching, thank you for watching. Take care. Get out there, do some hobbying. Want to see what you do. Bye.